In the quiet town of Riverdale, beyond the emerald green hills, and beside the sparkling blue lake, there lived a hippo known far and wide for his greediness. His name was Hank, but everyone called him Greedy Hippo, and not without good reason. Hank was an enormous hippo who had quite an enormous appetite. If you happened to live anywhere near Riverdale, you would know Hank by the telltale signs of clinking plates, empty pantries, and the peculiar absence of picnic baskets, all courtesy of Hank, the greedy hippo. Hank's appetite was like a magic trick. He could make entire feasts vanish with just one gulp. From cheese to peas, chips, and cake, Hank left not a crumb behind. He never shared and always demanded more. Some said he had a belly that stretched beyond imagination. Of course, hips don't lie, but Hippo Hank pushed the limits of what's polite. It was known to all within a swampy mile radius that Hank had no manners. He was the king of the pond, a royal ruler who demanded an audience with every meal anyone possessed. He ate the cat's crunchy kibble and the dog's delicious bone. He'd munch on the cow's hay, and even off of Grandma's well-aged stinky cheese. Hank cared little for what others thought. He had no qualms about gobbling up the best of everyone's food. One bright sunshiny day, Hank had gobbled up more than usual. He waddled over to a breezy tree shade to take a nap after a hearty meal of swiping everyone's breakfast, moussaka, and pudding. As he lay there snoozing peacefully, the other animals watched him with tiny clouds of frustration hovering above their heads. Something drastic had to be done, they all agreed. How would they ever manage to throw a party, host a picnic, or have a clambake with Hank in their midst? As they brainstormed, the magical Bluebell, a cunning raccoon, proposed a tricky trick. They would make a special pie, extraordinarily delectable only for Hank's gluttonous taste buds. The plan was unfurled. That afternoon, under the covert cover of bushes and trees, the animals crafted the biggest fiendish pie the gooseberry bush had ever seen. It was filled with sprightly fishy bits and bubbly soap, a gastronomical wonder aimed solely at Hank's insatiable appetite. Finally, finished and piping hot, the pie was presented with grins of falsely humble servitude before Hank. "Would you like something for that bottomless stomach of yours?" Bluebell inquired with feigned politeness. Hank blinked at the sight of a pie big enough to dwarf his massive nose. "Yes, please," Hank croaked eagerly, taking the bait faster than a fox on lettuce garnish. There was first a nibble, then a bold bite, before gulping down mouthfuls and mouthfuls till the panicked animals feared he might burst. Hank let out a satisfied sigh and groaned joyfully before running to the lake, to roll and wallow as proud hippos do. But all was not well with Hank. As his merry belly sloshed through the water, something curiously miraculous transpired. Hank began to feel quite squirmy and odd inside. The soap-bubbly pie swirled, faster and faster. Hank's tummy churned a chaotic symphony of bumps and bubbles. Before long, Hank's misery was glistening to behold. Blow he did among the reeds, as rainbow-colored bubbles of the fishy soap danced around him like twinkling night stars. Hank blew bubbles of delicate grace, launching them whimsically for anyone to see. Upon witnessing this burst of splendor, the animals giggled and flopped. They knew poor Hank was discovering the peculiar art of bubbles in the way only a greedy hippo could.